What's up guys, my name is Eldon and welcome back to another art video. Today's art video is going to be the second installment of Let's Try Realism. This time I am gonna draw realistic lips, or semi-realistic lips. Let's see how it turns out.
Alright guys, to start this out, I started out with a basic football shape, so in ovalish shape to get the bases down for where I wanted to put the lips, and then started adding little indents within that shape and around that shape to map out where the lips are going to be. After I mapped out where the lips were going to be, I added a little bit of freehand shadow and then started working on the teeth.
Damn, son.
Now, this video actually had a few mishaps when I was trying to finish recording this video. My computer actually overheated because the sun was directly on my PC, which I had to figure out how to recover all the data. Luckily, the data had been recovered, hence you watching this video. Now with that aside, I started working on the tongue after I mapped out where the teeth were gonna be. And added a little darkened area in the corner of the mouth where nothing else was gonna be, so it gives it that contrast. Right now I am working on the tongue, adding little irregularities on the tongue because everyone's tongue is slightly different, and then I map out where I want to put like the bumps that are on the tongue. For the bumps on the tongue, I will go in and later and stipple it, and that just means a bunch of dots to give it that more bumpy-esque type of look. Right now I'm just touching up the teeth. Now I know that there's a glare from the window later on. It gets worse, and then I go and put a sheet over my window to make sure that the light that's passing through the window doesn't affect the video quality. And as I stated earlier, right now I'm doing the stippling, which is a bunch of dots over and over again on the tongue to give it more of a texturish kind of look, so it's more bumpy and whatnot. This process does take a while, but it's worth it if you want to get for the feel that you're trying to get, if you want a more bumpy, rough textured kind of look. And the reason I only did that on the upper part of the tongue is because the upper part of the tongue is the one that is rougher, and the lower is usually smoother and has all those irregularities and lines and stuff. Hence why I did those lines and irregularities on the bottom of the tongue. I actually later on go and erase some of this and then do lighter ones because I noticed that it's too dark for what I wanted to portray, and I go back and edit it. Don't be afraid to erase mistakes in pictures and edit as you go along. I am now using my blending stub to blend in the tongue area to give it more of a quote-unquote realistic kind of look, more blended realism kind of look. And after I blended it, that's where I noticed that it's a little bit too big, and as you see, I go and erase it and do more spaced out stippling to make it lighter but still give that rough texture kind of look. Just working on some of the rough, or not the rough, but the lines to make it more pop and juicy. So after I erase some of the rough sketches that were already there for around the lips, I go back in deepen the line work, make it so that it pops out more and that the lips look more clean. At least up close in person they will look more clean. And at the moment I'm actually doing the cracks that their lips have, so the little crack areas. I originally had them closer and then closer together, but then it looked kind of weird because the cracks looked like they were just forced there. So I then later on go and space them out, erasing some. Again, don't be afraid to erase on your piece of work and to edit it to make sure it gets the feel that you want to convey. And again, line work is everything, so certain cracks had heavier lines and other ones had lighter lines, just to give it some differentiation throughout the piece to make it more unique and stand out more. Once I was done with the bottom lips cracks, I went over and shaded it in one direction and went back and shaded in another direction to give it more of a flat tone look like you do with Copics. And then I went through and darkened the lines to make sure that the lips would pop more and then have a nicer effect. After that, I go through and add some shine on the bottom of the lip. So this is where it got pretty bad, and then I went and put a sheet over my window so that the sun wouldn't interfere with the video work. I usually do these videos at a later point of the day, so the sun never really bothered me. So that's why when I did this video early in the morning just to get it done, I had to adapt. After I blend it, I'm gonna go and add the shine like I said earlier. So since you're erasing some of the work in the little cracks, after I added the shine and got it the way I wanted, I went through and added some of the cracks back in just to give it that little feel that it's a full lip and you can still get that little texture-ish kind of feel on them. Even though the cracks are harder to see from this angle, once you look at the picture up close, you can still see the little cracks. So detail. I do the same thing on the upper lip. I add the little cracks, then I go in and shade it one way or fill it in one way with a pencil and then go another way to fill it in and make sure that it's a nice even flat surface. And then I go in and erase some areas to give it that shine kind of feeling. So with the upper part of the lip with the shine, I decided that the wide shine was too much, and then go back and edit and shorten the shine down a bit to make it more realistic again, and then also to make it so it's not overbearing. I go in and darken some of the lines to make it pop more, and then add shine to different areas of the piece. Now, just like I did for the skin around the eye in Let's Try Realism #1, I did it with the mouth. I did lines one in a diagonal way and went back and cross-hatched the lines to give it that skinish texture. Once I was done cross-hatching, I went through and used the blending stub and blend all around it to give it more of an evenish kind of look. And then I went with an eraser around the areas that were a little bit blended too far, and then rounded them out to give it a nicer look. And then after that, I was complete. Just a little bit of editing, and then I'm done. I will now throw up a B-roll in the final image of this piece. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Don't forget to also check out my Instagram account. It is the same handle as my YouTube account, EldenDraws. I tend to post there daily, and I will continue to do so. So, I'll see you guys later. Peace!